Hello everyone, my name is Sahil Kapade and I'm going to teach you part 1 of redox reaction. So let's get started with basic information of oxidation and reduction. Oxidation. First one, addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Example 2 Mg plus O2 gives you 2 MgO. Second, addition of electronegative elements. 2 FeCl2 plus Cl2 gives you 3 FeCl3. Third, removal of hydrogen is oxidation. Example, H2S plus Cl2 gives you 2HCl plus S. Fourth, removal of electropositive element is called oxidation. K2MnO4 plus O3 plus H2O gives you KMnO4 plus KOH. Fifth, loss of electron is oxidation. Below are the example where loss of electron takes place. Sixth and the important point, increase in oxidation number is oxidation. Reduction. First one, addition of hydrogen is called reduction. Example, H2 plus Cl2 gives you 2HCl. Here, hydrogen is being added to chlorine to form HCl. Second, addition of electropositive element is called reduction. HgCl2 plus SnCl2 gives you Hg2Cl2 plus SnCl. Here, Hg is electropositive element which is added to chlorine. Removal of oxygen is called reduction. ZnO plus Cl gives you Zn plus CO. In zinc oxide, oxygen is been removed, so it is reduction. Removal of electronegative elements. 2FeCl3 plus H2S gives you 2FeCl2 plus 2HCl plus S. Gain of electron is reduction. Below are the example where gain of electron takes place. Sixth and important point, decrease in oxidation number is also reduction. Oxidizing agent. Oxidizing other elements and reducing itself is called oxidizing agent. Example, MnO2 plus 4HCl gives you MnCl2 plus Cl2 plus 2H2O. Here MnO2 is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent can also be called as reduction as the MnO2 gets reduced to MnCl2 where a loss of oxygen is taken place, so it can be also called as reduction. Reducing agent. A reducing agent is a substance which reduces other and oxidizes itself. Example, Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives you 2Fe plus Al2O3. Here, aluminium is reduced as it is oxidized to Al2O3. Reducing agent can also be called as oxidation as there is addition of oxygen. Oxidation number and oxidation state. Let's start with the definition of oxidation number. Oxidation number is a residual charge which an atom of an element appears to have in its bonded form considering electronegativity difference. मतलब एलिमेंट के बचा हुआ चार्ज जो रहता है वो ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर होता है. एग्जांपल सोडियम. सोडियम हैज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन 281. मतलब अभी वो 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्ट तो नहीं कर सकता पर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन जरूर इजी होगा देने के लिए, तो तो इसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर प्लस. एग्जाम्पल है H2SO4. H2SO4 में हाइड्रोजन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +1 है और ऑक्सीजन का -2 है. हमें फाइंड करना है सल्फर का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर. तो हम उसके हाइड्रोजन के कितने एटम्स है 2, सो 2 into 1 is equals to 2 प्लस सल्फर S काउंट मानते हैं प्लस 4 into -2 क्योंकि ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन इज -2 एंड इसके H2SO4 में 4 एटम्स है ऑक्सीजन के, तो सो 4 -2 into 4 दैट इज -8. देयरफॉर +2 प्लस S प्लस -8 इज इक्वल्स टू 0. तो इसे सॉल्व करके हमको मिलता है सल्फर का ऑक्सीडेशन. Definition of oxidation state. It refers to the charge per atom of same kind in a compound. मतलब ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर का एवरेज निकाला तो हमें ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट मिलता है. एग्जांपल Na2S4O6. ये है स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ Na2S4O6 जो हम आगे सीखने वाले हैं. तो इसमें सल्फर 4 सल्फर है, उसमें से 2 पेरिऑक्सी लिंकेज है, इसलिए उनका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 0 होगा. 2 ऑक्सीडेशन, इसलिए इधर देख सकते हो कि ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ सल्फर इज +5 0 0 +5. तो उन सब का एवरेज निकाला तो हमको 2.5 आता है जो कि ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट है. रूल्स फॉर कैलकुलेशन ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर इन कोवैलेंट कंपाउंड. द ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ ईच एटम ऑफ एन एलिमेंट इन फ्री स्टेट इज 0. atom in H2, Cl2, O3, S8, P4, O2, Ca, etc. has an oxidation number of 0. यानी कि जो भी फ्री स्टेट में होता है जो भी एलिमेंट फ्री स्टेट में होता है उसका ऑक्सीडेशन हमेशा जीरो होता है. Oxidation number of an atom in a monoatomic ion is equal to its charge. Thus alkali metal जो कि group 1 के है have oxidation number +1 in all their compounds. Example NaCl, KCl. Alkaline earth metal जो कि group 2 में present है have oxidation number of +2 in all their compounds. Example CaCO3, MgCl2, etc. In an ionic compound, oxidation number is simply charge on corresponding cation. एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हैं कि एग्जाम्पल दे सकती है SO4 2-. अभी इसका चार्ज क्या है -2, तो इसका सम टोटल 0 नहीं होगा, -2 होगा. In each of the above cases of ionic compound, the sum of all the atoms in an ionic compound is equal to 0. एग्जाम्पल KCl, ये के पोटेशियम का देखोगे तो +1 है ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर, क्लोरीन का देखोगे तो -1 है, तो इनका सम टोटल हमेशा 0 ही आएगा. अब देखो MgCl2 का भी 0 ही रहेगा, और ऐसे ही सारे कंपाउंड के 0 ही रहेंगे. द फिफ्थ रूल, द ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन इज यूजुअली -2. मोस्टली कंपाउंड में हमें -2 ही दिखाई देगा, पर ऐसे स्पेशल केसेस भी होते हैं जिसमें आपको ऑक्सीजन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर डिफर करेगा. वो है पेरिऑक्साइड जो कि है पेरिऑक्सी लिंकेज जिसमें ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर -1 रहता है, और सुपर ऑक्साइड जिसमें ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर -1/2 रहता है. अभी आप देख सकते हो ये एग्जांपल KO2, इसमें पोटेशियम का +1 है और ऑक्सीजन को अगर x मान लेते हैं 0, तो हम सॉल्व करके ऑक्सीजन का ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट -1/2 आएगा. F2, ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन इज +2. Sixth rule, the oxidation number of fluorine is -1 in all its compound. फ्लोरीन एक बहुत सबसे ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव एलिमेंट है, इसलिए वो उसका ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट हमेशा -1 ही रहेगा. The oxidation seventh rule, the oxidation number of hydrogen atom is either plus or -1. मोस्टली हमको हाइड्रोजन आइटम +1 ही दिखाई देंगे कंपाउंड में, पर +1 और -1 कब कब है वो भी देखते हैं. When the H atom is bonded to non-metal, its oxidation number is +1. When it's bonded to metals, it possesses oxidation number of -1. इधर कुछ एग्जाम्पल है जिसमें आपको हाइड्रोजन के ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर डिफर करते हुए मिलेंगे. 8 आठवां रूल, द अदर हैलोजन क्लोरीन, ब्रोमीन एंड iodine usually exhibits oxidation number of -3 compounds, halide compounds. A compound in which halogens chlorine, bromine, iodide are bonded to oxygen, oxidation number of halogen is +1. अभी हम देखेंगे रेंज ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर इन पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप. The range of oxidation state of a given element is determined by its highest and lowest oxidation state. The range is numerically equal to the difference between these highest and lowest values, and for transition metals may be assumed to be a value from 0 to 10. अब हर ग्रुप के अपने अपने रेंज रहते हैं जिसमें कि उनका ऑक्सीडेशन. The formula for finding maximum and minimum oxidation number is valence electron to find maximum oxidation number and valence electron -8 to find minimum oxidation number of a particular group. So let's start with group 17. Each element have 7 electrons in outermost shell. Therefore, the maximum valence electron is +7 and minimum oxidation number 1. In group 16, outermost shell contains 6 electrons. Therefore, maximum oxidation number is +6 and minimum is -2. Similarly, in group 15, it is +5 and minimum is -3. In group 14, it is +4 and in minimum is -4. And group 13, it is +5 and minimum is -3. Lewis dot structure. Rules to draw Lewis dot structure. पहला रूल है count the number of valence electron each atom brings in the molecule. For ions, the charge must be taken into account. Second rule, put electrons pair about each atom such that there are electrons around each atom except hydrogen. Third rule, if there are not enough electrons to follow the octet rule, then the least electronegative is left short for electrons. Fourth rule, if there are too many electrons to follow the octet rule, then the extra electrons are placed on the central atom. Steps to draw Lewis dot structure. Determine the total number of valence electron. Determine the central atom. Stick everything to the central atom using a single bond. Fill the octet of every atom by filling dots. Add or subtract electrons by making or breaking bond. Check the charge of each atom. Now let's see example of Lewis dot structure. Let's take the example as let's take the compound example H2SO4. एग्जाम्पल H2SO. पहले रूल्स के हिसाब से रूल क्या बोलता है कि फाइंड सम टोटल वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑफ ईच एटम ऑफ डिफरेंट एलिमेंट ऑन. अभी हमको हाइड्रोजन में कितने आउटर मोस्ट शेल में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहते हैं, वो है +1, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रहता है. सल्फर में कितने प्रेजेंट रहते हैं, 6. और ऑक्सीजन में कितने प्रेजेंट रहते हैं,
6.
अभी हाइड्रोजन के कितने एटम है, 2 इंटू 1 प्लस सल्फर के कितने 1 मतलब 6 प्लस ऑक्सीजन के कितने
6
इंटू 4. तो इसको हमने अगर कैलकुलेट किया तो आंसर 32 आता है. अभी सेकेंड रूल क्या बोलता है, फाइंड नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन रिक्वायर्ड टू कंप्लीट ऑक्टेट और डुप्लेट. दूसरे स्टेप के हिसाब से हमें फाइंड करना है कि उस नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन रिक्वायर्ड टू कंप्लीट ऑक्टेट और डुप्लेट. अभी H2SO4 में हाइड्रोजन ऑक्टेट नहीं बनाएगा, वो डुप्लेट बनाएगा, इसलिए 2 इंटू 2 एटम्स प्लस 8. सल्फर के आउटर मोस्ट शेल में 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन बैठ सकते हैं, तो वो ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट करते हैं, इसलिए 8. और ऑक्सीजन के भी 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन, तो 8 इंटू 4, इसका टोटल 44. अभी हमको बॉन्ड फॉर्म करना है, तो इसलिए बॉन्ड कितने हैं इसमें, तो थर्ड रूल क्या बताता है, नंबर ऑफ बॉन्ड पेयर इलेक्ट्रॉन और बॉन्ड रिक्वायर्ड टू कंप्लीट ऑक्टेट. मतलब ये माइनस ये अपॉन 2 करना है. ये क्या बोलते हैं, 44 माइनस 32 अपॉन 2 दैट इज 6 बॉन्ड फॉर्म करता है. अभी उस बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन के स्टेप के हिसाब से पहले देखना है the least electronegative element except hydrogen will act as central atom. मतलब हाइड्रोजन तो नहीं रह सकता, ऑक्सीजन भी नहीं रह सकता, तो आया सल्फर, क्योंकि वो लीस्ट इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है. तो सल्फर बीच में एक ऑक्सीजन इधर, दूसरा ऑक्सीजन इधर, एक हाइड्रोजन इधर, दूसरा हाइड्रोजन इधर, और ये कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड बनाएगा. तो ऐसा है स्ट्रक्चर. तीसरा रूल बोलता है ओनली सेंट्रल एटम कैन डोनेट इट्स लोन पेयर नॉन बॉन्डेड इलेक्ट्रॉन, दैट इज कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड, डोनर एक्सेप्टर बॉन्ड, और इसको डेटिव बॉन्ड भी बोलते हैं. फिर इस स्ट्रक्चर को ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं हम, तो ये है एक एग्जांपल. स्टॉक नोटेशन, ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर डिनोटेड बाय numerical in stock notation. Oxidation number denoted by Roman numeral in parentheses, that is in brackets, after the chemical symbol of concerned element in molecular formula is called stock notation. It is used to specify the positive oxidation number of metal. Example Au plus Cl minus. अभी इसमें स्टॉक नोटेशन कुछ नहीं, मतलब ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ही रहता है, सिर्फ उसको हम रोमन न्यूमेरिकल के फॉर्म में लिखते हैं। अभी कैसे लिखते हैं वो मैं एक एग्जांपल दे के बताता हूँ। एयू का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर क्या है? +1। एयू का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +1 है और क्लोरीन का -1 है, तो एयू का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर क्या है? +1। तो इसलिए हमने इधर 1 लिखा है ब्रैकेट में रोमन न्यूमेरिकल के फॉर्म में। अभी AuCl3 माइनस, अभी इसमें Au का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर क्या है? +3, तो इधर +3 आएगा। Sn का वैसे ही +4 है, इसलिए इधर 4 आएगा। Mn +4 है, क्योंकि उसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +4 है, इसलिए इधर ब्रैकेट में 4 आएगा रोमन न्यूमेरिकल में। टाइप्स ऑफ रेडॉक्स रिएक्शन. Intermolecular redox reaction. In such reaction, the reacting species undergoing reduction and oxidation are different but belong to same compound. Example: KClO3. 2KClO3 gives you 2KCl plus 3O2. KClO3 एक ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट भी है और रेड्यूसिंग एजेंट भी है, पर उसके एलिमेंट्स अलग अलग है जो ऑक्सीडाइज हो रहे हैं और रेड्यूस हो रहे हैं। इधर देख सकते हो कि क्लोरीन अंडरगोज रिडक्शन, क्योंकि क्लोरीन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +5 है इधर, और इधर आप देखोगे तो उसका -1 होगा, तो वो रिड्यूस हो रहा है। और इधर ऑक्सीजन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर -2 है, और इधर देखोगे तो उसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 0 है, इंक्रीज हो रहा है, तो -2 से 0 तक इंक्रीज हो रहा है, इसलिए उसका वो ऑक्सीडाइज हो रहा है। अब disproportionation reaction, the reaction in which same atom or ion of compound are simultaneously oxidized and reduced is called disproportionation. 3ClO gives you 2Cl plus ClO3 minus. इसमें क्लोरीन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +1, इधर -1, इधर +5, तो ये होता है ऑक्सीडेशन और ये होता है.
This is a presentation of balancing the redox reaction. Firstly, we'll see what is the oxidation number method. In this oxidation number method, the change in oxidation state in the oxidant should be equal to the change in oxidation number of the reductant. That is, the oxidation number should be conserved through the oxidation number method. Firstly, write down the oxidation number of all atoms present in the reaction. Second, identify the species undergoing oxidation and reduction and divide the whole reaction into two halves, that is, oxidation half and reduction half. We must always take the charges per atom. Balance the atoms undergoing oxidation and reduction. Balance the oxidation state for both oxidation and reduction half by multiplying with suitable multiplier, that is, take the LCM of the change in oxidation state. Write down the partially balanced reaction for atoms undergoing oxidation and reduction. Balance other spectator atoms, that atoms not undergoing oxidation or reduction, and except hydrogen and oxygen. For hydrogen and oxygen, we have different method. In acidic medium, balance the oxygen atoms by adding water to the side containing less oxygen atoms, and add water molecule to the side for every oxygen atom. Balance the hydrogen atoms by adding hydrogen ions to the side having less hydrogen atoms. If the reaction occurs in the basic medium, then add hydroxide ions equal to the number of hydrogen ions in the step 2 on the both sides of the equation. The hydrogen and OH ions, hydroxide ions, on the same side of the reactions are combined to give water molecules. In neutral medium, follow the same procedure as that of acidic medium. Now we'll see how to balance the reaction by oxidation method. We have an example over here. First, we'll write down the oxidation number of each atom over here. This is +2. Copper has +2 because oxygen has -2. Hydrogen has +1. Nitrogen has -3. Here plain copper has 0. Nitrogen has 0 because they are all present in their natural form. Oxygen has -2. Hydrogen has +1. Now we must understand what is undergoing reduction and what is undergoing oxidation. So as we can see, copper has reduced itself because its oxidation number has reduced from 2 to 0, and nitrogen has oxidized itself as its oxidation number has increased from -3 to 0. So copper is undergoing reduction and nitrogen undergoing oxidation. So so this is the first thing. We have assigned the oxidation number to copper and nitrogen, and we have calculated the increase also and decrease in the oxidation number. See, decrease in oxidation number, Cu2 plus to Cu means change in oxidation number is of +2, and increase in oxidation number, uh, we have to balance the charges per atom. So 2 into 3 is 6, and here 0, so change in oxidation number is 6. So we have to balance it by multiplying by suitable multiplier. So 2 and 6 have LCM 6, so we will multiply 2 by 3. So we have multiplied over here by 3 in order to balance the change in oxidation number. Now we'll write the partial balanced equation, that is, we'll write the stoichiometric coefficient of copper and nitrogen. Here we get 3Cu plus 2 NH3 gives 3Cu plus N2 plus H2O. Then we'll balance, we can see that there are no spectator atoms over here. Nitrogen is a spectator atom, but it is balanced. So we'll now balance the oxygen atom by adding water to the right hand side, because there is deficiency of oxygen over here. So as we can see over here, on the left hand side there were three oxygen, and over here only one was there, so we multiplied it by 3. And now we'll check for the hydrogen over here initially were 6, and now also here are 6, so it is balanced. This reaction is balanced, so we get the final equation as 3CuO plus 2NH3 gives 3Cu plus N2 plus 3H2O. Now we will see how to balance the redox by ion electron method. In this method, the electrons, number of gain electrons by the atoms must be conserved. That is, number of electrons atom undergoing reduction should be equal to number of electrons lost by the substance undergoing oxidation. So here are the method for solving this. First we'll write the unbalanced equation for the redox reaction and assign the oxidation number as you do for the oxidation number method. Then we'll divide the equation into halves, that is oxidation half and reduction half. The first half will be reduction half and other can be oxidation half, or anyhow. Then we'll balance the all atoms except, this can be done later. We'll balance the charges by adding appropriate number of electrons to the right side of the oxidation half and to the left of the reduction half equation. We'll multiply the charges by suitable multiplier to equalize the number of electrons in two half equations, and add two half equations to cancel the number of electrons on both sides of the equation. Then we can balance all atoms except oxygen and hydrogen in each half equation. After that we can we'll balance the oxygen atom by adding water to the side with less oxygen atoms, and balance the hydrogen atom by adding hydroxide H hydroxyl ions to the side with less hydrogen atoms. We must check that the equation is balanced. Before that, if the reaction is, we must check the medium of the equation. If the reaction is in basic medium, then add hydroxide ions equal to the number of H plus ions on the both equation. Then hydroxide and OH ions on the same side of the equation combine to give H2O molecules. So we'll see now how to balance the following equation by ion electron method. The equation is as follows: BiOH3 plus SnOH3 minus gives Bi plus SnOH6 minus 2 charge. So As you know, OH has -1 charge. So Bi oxidation number -3 would give us 0. So Bi's oxidation number is 3. Again, OH has -1, -3 plus X equals to -1. So X equals to 2. Sn has +2. Bi exists in natural form, so 0. Here over here -1 into 6, x minus 6 equals to -2, therefore Sn will have +4. Over here it is +4. So as you can see, we have assigned the oxidation number. Now we'll calculate the increase and decrease in oxidation number to balance them. So now we'll add proper number of electrons to having side having higher oxidation state. Bi having oxidation number 3 uh, converted into Bi having oxidation number 0. So we'll add 3 electrons over here to neutralize it. And Sn having oxidation number +2 was converted into Sn having oxidation number +4. So we'll add 2 electrons over here. Here reduction happened and here oxidation happened. Now as we can see, we must take the common multiplier of 3 and 2, or LCM, which is 6. So uh, we must multiply 3 Bi having 3 electrons with 2 in order to get 6. So we have multiplied it here, and Sn having 2 electrons with 3 in order to get 6. We have done it here. So now we'll balance the hydrogen and oxygen atoms by rules of basic medium, because it was given over here that it is in basic medium. So we get the net equation like this: BiOH thrice plus SnOH thrice minus having -1 charge plus 6OH -1 plus 3H2O gives 2Bi plus SnOH 6 minus 2 plus 3H2O plus 3OH minus. Now we'll write the final balanced equation as follows, because there some things can be common, that is we can cut the 3H2O because it is common, and 3OH and 6OH will be cut, and here only 3OH will remain 3OH minus, and as we can see the equation is balanced. uh, 2Bi and 2Bi is balanced. Oxygen atoms are 6 plus 15 plus 3 18, and over here 6 into 2 6 into 3, that is 18. Oxygen also are balanced. Then hydrogen ions are also balanced, as we can see over here, that is 18 on both the sides, and 3Sn and 3Sn are already balanced. Now we'll write the final balanced equation as per here, as we have written over here, that is net equation, as we have cancelled here the extra things, and this is our final balanced equation. So hello, I am Rajesh Deshpande. I am going to introduce you to Daniell cell. Very early, some experiments were done in which copper sulfate solution was taken and zinc rod was dipped in it. After that, some changes are observed in the initial apparatus. So the changes were as follows: the zinc rod's weight was reduced, then copper sulfate solution faded its color, and third, temperature of the solution was raised, and fourth, an insoluble precipitate was formed. All these changes are observed due to the oxidation of zinc atoms due to the loss of electrons, and secondly, the reduction of copper due to gain of electrons. Now I am going to explain you what is exactly the Daniell cell. So Daniel cell is a type of electrochemical cell or voltaic cell in which the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy due to spontaneous redox reaction. This is the principle of Daniel cell. It is known as Daniel cell because it is of zinc and copper voltaic cell. So when the circuit is complete, zinc plate loses its ions in the electrolyte and electrons remain in the zinc plate and the rod becomes negatively charged. Negatively charged rod. The electrons get accumulated in on the zinc rod and they start traveling towards the copper rod. Due to this, a spontaneous reaction happens in the right hand side over here. The copper ions present combine with the electrons arriving from the zinc to produce copper solid and they get deposited on the Cu rod and which makes the rod positively charged. The copper rod becomes positively charged and the zinc rod becomes negatively charged. Due to this, there is a potential difference created in the system and therefore the current start moving in the opposite direction in the direction of electrons. This was the direction of electrons and opposite is the direction of current. After some time, a problem may arise and the system may stop working. This is because after some time, the anode, which is the zinc, becomes too much positively charged and it prevents the flow of electrons from here to the copper. And similarly, in the right hand side, the sulfate ions, SO4 ions, get accumulated in the solution becomes negatively charged and it prevents the it repels the incoming electron from the zinc side, and after some time the system may stop working. So in order to prevent this, we build a salt bridge, which salt bridge is the solution to this problem. It is an inverted U tube, U, and it contains an electrolyte like the KCl or ammonium chloride or sodium sulfate present in the agar-agar powder in semi-liquid state. It provides the mobility to the ions. The salt contains Cl negative ions and positively potassium ions which enter the solution. The Cl ion will enter the so Cl ion enters the positively charged solution which is the ZnSO4 and the copper ions enter the CuSO4 solution. Due to this, the negatively charged and positively charged neutralize the solution, and here also the solution gets neutralized, and the system may continue to work for longer time. Now the functions of the salt bridge over here are to maintain the electrical neutrality of the half cells. It also completes the circuit by allowing flow of electrons. It minimizes the liquid junction potential. Now what is liquid junction potential? In a cell, this side is the positively charged and this side is negatively charged, negative, 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 and due to this there is a potential created between there is a potential created on this junction, and the junction has a potential difference created and it opposes the cell potential. Due to this, our system may stop working. This is neutralized by the salt bridge. Now the conditions for the salt bridge are as electrolytes are as follows. The electrolytes should be inert, that is they should not react with ions or rods of the half cell. But over here we can see that K plus and SO4 minus may react, but again they are very soluble, so they can again dissociate into ions. Again the same happens with the Zn and SO4 and Cl. Uh, the second condition for salt bridge electrolyte is it should have good ionic mobility and equal mobility of cation and anion. Due to this, half cells are neutralized simultaneously. Now the standard electrode potential. Because of this positively charged electrode and negatively charged electrode, the current starts flowing. It starts flowing because the potential difference is created. The potential difference created due to the electrodes is known as standard electrode potential. The standard oxidation potential is the potential difference created due to the between the anode and electrolyte, and standard reduction potential is the uh, potential difference created between the electrolyte and the cathode. In this slide, I am going to explain you what is a redox couple and electrode potential. A redox couple may be defined as combination of oxidized and reduced forms of same substance taking part in oxidation or reduction half reactions. Example, copper and zinc, which are the components of Daniell cell. Standard electrode potential, when the concentration of each species taking part in the electrode is unity, that is 1, and the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius or 298 Kelvin, such an electrode potential is called standard electrode potential, E naught or SRP. By convention, the standard electrode potential of hydrogen electrode is 0.00 volt. Standard hydrogen electrode is used as reference electrode for determination of SRP values. SRP means standard reduction potential, or E naught values for various redox couples. We'll see the significance of SRP value, E naught value. The electrode reaction considered for the electrode potential is reduction reaction. Therefore, value and sign of electrode potential is a measure of tendency of active species in the electrode reaction to remain in the oxidized or reduced form. A negative SRP means redox couple is a stronger reducing agent than the hydrogen and H plus ions couple. The larger negative value of E naught means that the redox couple is stronger reducing agent. On the other hand, more positive value of E naught means that the redox couple is stronger oxidizing agent. Table, we can see that alkali metals like sodium, lithium, magnesium have higher negative value of E naught, -3, -2.36, like that, which means that they are strong reducing agent. This is because alkali metals have greater tendency to give away electrons and form cations. On the other hand, fluorine, plumbum, chlorine have higher positive values of SRP, and thus great tendency to gain electron, and therefore are very strong oxidizing agents. Now we'll see some questions based on this topic. We have to solve that. Which of the following redox couple is stronger reducing agent, given that the value of lithium SRP is -3.05 volt and magnesium SRP is -2.36 volt. We know that the species having larger negative SRP, that is over here it is lithium, is the anode oxidation and is the stronger reducing agent, whereas the species having more value, that is magnesium, in comparison to lithium, undergoes the reduction and is stronger oxidizing agent. So over here lithium has more negative value as discussed, and hence is the anode, and it undergoes oxidation and is stronger reducing agent, whereas magnesium having less E naught SRP value in comparison to having more value SRP value in comparison to lithium, is the cathode undergoing reduction and is stronger oxidizing agent between the two. Uh, Actually, both of these are very good reducing agents, because both value is very low, but lithium having more lower value is better oxidizing agent. Question 2. Which of the following is a stronger reducing agent, given that chlorine has SRP of 1.36 volt and bromine has SRP of 1.09 volt? Here bromine having SRP 1.09 has less value and hence is the anode, and undergoes oxidation, so is stronger reducing agent when compared to magnesium, and whereas magnesium has more positive value than and is the cathode, undergoing the reduction and is stronger oxidizing agent between the two redox couples. So in this slide we are going to learn what is a spontaneous reaction. A spontaneous reaction is a reaction that favors the formation of products at conditions under which the reaction is occurring. It is a very natural reaction and it happens without any external force or push. Uh, a spontaneous reaction is a one in which product formation is favored even if the reaction may be very slow. A roaring bonfire is an example of spontaneous reaction since it is exothermic. Other examples of spontaneous reaction are rusting. It is a exothermic reaction in which heat is given out, and ice melting is a form of endothermic spontaneous reaction in which heat is absorbed to form liquid water by the ice. So in the questions where electrode potentials of two ions would be given to us, we must take the sum of two electrode potential values. If the sum we get is positive, then the reaction between the two species is spontaneous. Then a non-spontaneous reaction is a reaction in which it does not favor the formation of products at a given set of conditions. A process which can either take place by itself or by initiation is called a non-spontaneous reaction. Example: flow of water up a hill. In this, the water will not flow up directly, so we have to put a motor in order to make it flow. So in another example of chemical reaction is the formation of nitrogen monoxide by combining nitrogen gas and oxygen gas. These chemicals reactions are in these chemical reactions, the changes in free energy